G'day everyone and welcome to episode 50, where that's right, the Doomsday Destroyer is now available on the Steam Workshop for you to download. Just as a special thanks to say thanks for sticking around for 50 episodes. I truly couldn't have done it without you guys in some points where I was pretty down and didn't have the motivation to finish this park. It was you guys that have kept me going, so special thanks to you. So let's continue on with this park and let's finish it off. So just to talk about the ride, this is about 8 or 9 hours worth of footage that I have sped up more than I've ever sped up any other video, as I did want to condense it down to just about 7 or 8 minutes. I tried to get it under 5, but there was just too much that went into the build to not skip around and stuff like that. So on the lead up to this build, I did initially want to recreate this with an actual piece of ride that you could sit on and interact with, but the more I started designing this ride, the more that I was like, I don't think I can achieve that any longer with the pieces that we had available. So this ride itself does rotate on a basic axis, so the center circle that you see isn't what the ride runs off of. It's more of just a pretty much a set piece and stuff like that. So we'll get into that part later when I start building on it. So at the moment, this is just me building the chair system. So this is pretty much built so that if a guest did actually sit in one of these rides, that you could actually sit a guest in the ride. This is something that I would have loved Planet Coaster to incorporate more of us building our own custom rides, to where they already have little scenery pieces and stuff like that that guests walk up to and interact with. So it would be really cool to have like a base sort of for your ride. Guests can line up for it like normal, and then pretty much with these seats and stuff like that, that you could animate your own sort of ride. But that's pretty much in the future. So in the real life ride, this ride has a lot of like artwork sort of stuff going around the ride itself, depicting Doomsday, and I really thought that this ride was missing just that extra element. So obviously the way that I've been building, I did want to incorporate my own sort of style in it. So as you'll see here, this is me pretty much building it up to have Doomsday spikes sticking out of the ride. So as when you went around the ride, you had these sort of close encounters as you spun around. So I'm still trying to work out the coloring of it, as I'll probably do that once I finish the villains area, just to make it fit inside that part of the park pretty well. So that was the other thing. So if you've noticed in the last videos, or when I was building that, pretty much the entrance to this part of the park, I really struggled with it because I had to constantly keep this in mind, to where when you come around from the Scooby-Doo coaster, I really wanted it to be this prominent thing that you've seen peeking over the top of Doomsday, just staring you right in the eye. So I knew that this spikes here was going to be a bit challenging, but I really would have loved to have seen in the real parks them incorporate something like this, just to bring that ride just that little bit of extra sort of pizzazz, if you will. But so I pretty much started off with black and white to get the sort of style I wanted to, using these amazing rock pieces that I found pretty late into my build. So as soon as I started with this is just pretty much me giving it a go and trialing it out, and then the more and more I kept going, the more I was like, okay, I'm onto something here. So as you can see before, I was initially just going to start off with the black pieces and just have it sitting there as if it was in the real ride, just without the artwork and stuff like that. But the more I started to create this, the more the ride really started to mold together into my own style. So I did see some of the other creations that people have done on Planet Coaster for different rides like this, and I'd really just tried to stay away from copying them. So it was really hard to create my own sort of style, because yeah, I was just so blown away with what them guys have created. So this is pretty much my own. I'd love for you to check it out and see it for yourself. But I do plan on finishing off the DC villains area in the next couple of episodes, and then hopefully I can do a proper overview of this ride. So I know a lot of people will want me to go over this slowly, but for now you'll just sadly have to be patient, so that maybe in episode 60 we'll do like a park walkthrough and just showing where we're up to, because we should have the villains area finished by episode 60. So this part here was pretty hard to create, as I didn't want to just go completely over the top. I wanted to have like access panels and interactable stuff, so that as you'll see when you download it, it does look like it does fit into the ride. It's not just randomly put together and stuff like that. So yeah, it's its own style. So you can probably see Doomsday himself in the background there. So that was you would have seen him probably around episode 40 or maybe even like 35. He was in the background constantly being created. That's what I started with. But then obviously I seen someone else created the same sort of Doomsday, so I did have to alter my Doomsday a fair bit to fit into the rest of this ride. So that was challenging in itself. This is pretty much just doing the base of the ride here. So once I sorted out the one side of the ride, I pretty much just copy and pasted it to the other side. And then the train tracks here itself was pretty self-explanatory, and then finishing Doomsday off on camera just to really let you guys just explore it yourself. So that was my main thing, was just to not show too much in this. I want you to download it and have a look yourself. But yes, as I said, we will do an overview video showing Doomsday off in all of his glory. So thanks for 50 episodes. I really appreciate every one of yous. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.